that I truly believe that it's something that will be beneficial to you as well, and that is the state of businesses. Okay, so welcome to the new Blackbird office. I'm going to do like a small B-roll, show you guys around. Basically on this room that we are at the moment, me and Kevin working here, and then we have the other parts of the office, and obviously this huge window here that is kind of distracting. Now let's get to what is actually important. That is, it's been a while since I last created a video for this YouTube channel. A lot of things has happened. One of the things is, of course, moving from the old office to the new one. I kind of miss the geek stuff around me, but yeah, I think that this one is way more practical. And today I really want to talk about something that it's been bothering me a lot, and also that I truly believe that it's something that will be beneficial to you as well, and that is the state of businesses, right? Especially when you're talking about creating online businesses. In today's age, right, there is something that here at my company we call it the unicorn metrics, right? That people usually tend to look at likes and followers, right? And they tend to look at how many views their video has, and really look at things that don't really drive the business forward, right? So it doesn't matter how many likes you have. If those likes don't convert into paying customers, then it really doesn't matter on like what you do on social media, right? And that is a thing that I see a lot, where nowadays people think about success as likes, right? While it's really the opposite. And then what ends up happening is that people use that as a fuel for their business, and when they can monetize that audience, it usually ends up happening one thing that it's really interesting to watch. And I've been watching this going for a while, is that when people end up being able to monetize that audience that they have, if they one day are actually able to, what happens is that they build a flawed machine. They build a business that crashes, right? And when they start putting basically gas on that business, or when they try to scale that business, it gets to a point that the business crashes, right? So here is what I'm going to cover with you today. I'm going to cover exactly what are the main points that are extremely important for you to have in your business, and then I'm going to give you a really interesting business idea that is not new, but I'm going to share with you exactly why I truly believe that that is the best business model that you can create today. And really, when you are creating a business, there are a few things that matter, and the only things that matter is really actions that drive the business forward. So when you're creating your business, you need to think about one really important thing, that usually people who just gather followers, they don't have that in mind, because in their opinion, now I've seen it a lot. For example, I'm going to give you a really concrete example, right? I've seen people on Instagram, right, where they sell you fitness packages, right? Well, they teach you how to be fit, they teach you how to do how to go to the gym and how to be healthier, right? But most of the time, a lot of the times actually, those pictures are actually like Photoshop, right? So they don't really have like a real system that actually benefits the people that are watching those videos. And what ends up happening is that you see a lot of people calling them out as fakes, as not knowing what they're doing. And you have like a lot of specific cases like these online today. And the main reason for that, the main problem for that, is that people, they really don't understand the base of the business and how you can actually create a business that is functional. So if you want to create a real business, you need to start thinking about your niche first, right? So the main idea of having a business, right? And if you want to create a business, here's what you should do. Most of the time, what happens is the following. People see a model of a business, and then after they see that model of a business, again, for example, the Instagram fitness the Instagram fitness industry, right? Where you have a lot of fakes in there. And another interesting model of business is really, for example, social media marketing agency like mine, right? You see that nowadays having an SMMA is like the big thing, because it's a huge business market. Every single business needs marketing, and therefore everyone goes to create an SMMA, right? Especially in people around my age and younger, right? And what ends up happening is that people see, right, the business in this case, and then what they do is they model this business, right, without proving that this business works. And this happens when there is something that is called a herd mentality. Is when a lot of people start doing this, people start thinking that this model is a model that actually works. Therefore, if it worked for me, right, it will work for everybody. And really, this is the wrong way of looking at creating your business. And I call this monkey see, monkey do. Exactly. Because what most people do is that they look at a business model, right? They think that that business model will work, and therefore they start doing it. And what you will find is that most often people who copy this business model, they actually fail. And the reason for that is when someone copies a business model, right, most of the time they're copying a flawed business model. And here's why I say that, right? To run a social media marketing agency, right, when I'm in this online space, to run a social media marketing agency that is actually profitable, there are a lot of small details that you need to know in order to make this machine or this business run properly. And one of these things is, so for example, for you to reach at the level that my social media marketing agency is, for example, you need to have, right, an X amount of employees. And the reason for, and the more clients that you have, right, the more clients that you have, this number of employees will grow. So it will come to a point that for you to be profitable, either you have to have a really high price for your services, or you'll get to a point where your growth will really stay in a point. And then when that happens, usually, for example, usually around for social media marketing agencies, from what I've seen, from what I've experienced and talking to other business owners, is that usually it is around on 300K in terms of profits, because like to break that point you really need to start charging like really high numbers, and then you need to go against social media marketing agencies. For example, VaynerMedia, that is a huge social media marketing agency that has a huge name, you will need to start to go against them, because when you start charging at the price of 20K per month, for example, that is what they charge, you need to be able to compete with them at that level, right? So what people do is they copy the business model without wondering, right, if that works, what is the downside of having that type of business. And the reason I'm giving you the example of a social media marketing agency is because the type of business that I run. So for me to grow social media marketing agency business, I really had to work on like crazy. Like it's the only way that I can put this. You need to be in front of as many people as you can. You need to cold call. You need to create like LinkedIn. By the way, I have a LinkedIn strategy here on the channel if you guys want to check it out. And you really need to put your head down to the business. And in today's age, right, when you copy a business model, you cannot copy that person's results, and you cannot copy that person's actions, right? You can learn from that person, but you cannot copy their actions. So copying a business model is fine, but if you want to create a profitable business, here's one thing that you should ask yourself, and it's really the most important aspect of building a business. And the first thing is, right, your client, if your client is here, and it's really interesting because a lot of you already have the skill sets that you need to actually do this that I'm about to teach you, right? If your client, he's so this is like your client current situation, right? And you want to bring them to their desired situation, right? What is the skills that you have in the moment that can actually be the bridge that will close that gap? So this is your skill. So the way that you need to think about business is really the way that most business end up existing. That is, for example, what is a problem that my customer has that I can solve that problem? For us, for a social media marketing agency, for example, the problem that our clients have is not being able to advertise. Or, for example, a lot of business owners, when I talk to them on a call, they tell me that before they started working with me, right, the CEO of the company needed to take time from his own time to actually do the marketing and do the sales, right? So me going in, I'm saving that business owner an headache of they needing to actually do the work themselves in terms of marketing and sales process, right? So I close that gap between those two people. And when you are copying a business model, right, most of the time what people don't understand is this part right here, is what is the desired situation of your client, right? Because what people usually see is this part here, is what is the skill that that business model has, right, that made them higher. So for example, what people see is how they create Facebook ads, right? How they create Google ads, how they can create the best copy in the world. But what people usually neglect is what is the problem that that client was facing actually to hire them, right? And when you put things in that perspective, what is the current situation of your customer and what is the desired situation of your customer, what is the skills and what are the products or services that you can offer them in order for you to actually close that gap and sell to them. And once you have that very, very clear, it's extremely easy for you to start building a business from there. And actually, when you are on a call with your customer, you can actually tell them that you'll help them go from their current situation to their desired situation. And for that, you need to really understand your niche, right? You need to understand who you help. In our case, for example, we help most info products and also online schools. And usually when I say online schools, a lot of people ask me, what do you mean by online schools? And what I mean by online schools, it's really physical schools who also have online programs, right? So most of schools that we work with, they actually have a campus where they have the course on campus, and also they offer the online product, right? The online program. And in our case, right, they don't know how to get clients with predictability. They don't know how to get students with predictability. But one thing that I found, and it's the second part of this, is when you are building a business, right, is actually a really good idea for you to build a course. Allow me to explain. Here is why it's an extremely good idea for you, instead of, for example, creating a social media marketing agency, for you to create a course instead. And here are a few misconceptions that people have about creating a course. And actually working with schools, like physical schools, right, that sell online programs is what allowed me to actually think about that deeper, because I got to a point that my social media marketing agency hit a plateau where if I want to grow, I need to hire more people. Hire more people means that I need to lose more time talking to those people, means that I need to search for like the A players on the position that I'm looking for, meaning that I need to retrain that staff, meaning that I need to really like put more work in the company, right, if I want to scale. With online courses, right, you can scale really, really quickly, and literally I've seen clients of mine that is one person and one person alone doing 100K per month without really needing more people on their team. And a few misconceptions that I see a lot happening is that people think that their program, right, is less worthy than one-on-one consulting, for example, or one-on-one coaching, or done for you services, right? And the other issue that I usually see people complaining about is that people are too busy to actually watch the videos and to get training. And like you have like a lot of misconceptions, or that you will charge less, right, because you're not selling yourself. Now, I've worked with online schools that they sell courses, right, literally at 50k, right? 50k, yeah. So here's the thing, when you're creating an online program, right, one thing that you need to have in mind is what you are selling is a transformation, is again, getting that person from their current situation to their desired situation, right? And what you really are selling at that moment is people, right, is not only the transformation, but it's actually time. Because, for example, if you want to go to learn how to surf, right, you can go by yourself. You can grab a board, go to the beach, and then try to surf, right? But the main reason that people hire an instructor is because with the instructor, right, the learning process is much faster, and you can get to your point A to your point Z, that is your desired situation, quicker, right? So that is why people hire coaches, that is why people hire consultants, right? So if you have an online program, right, you are literally selling time and selling a transformation to your client. And the reason that I think that online courses, and I started analyzing these more in depth on why online courses sell so much, and the reason for that is that when you talk about business, right, you need to think about, especially a product, right? An online course is a product. You need to think about the cost for production, right? If you want to build, for example, if you want to build an iPhone, for example, right, your production cost for the iPhone is actually is lower, right, than the cost that they sell the phone, right? So the cost that they sell the phone is higher. However, for a online program, right, for an online course, your production cost, right, is actually lower than producing an iPhone. And the reason that it's lower is because you literally can start with zero. If you have a computer already, or if you have an iPhone, for example, you can start with $0 to produce your course. The second thing is that, unlike the iPhone, you don't need, right, you don't need to have inventory. So, no inventory. And the cool part about that is that, for example, if you sell 1,000 iPhones, right, your actions to sell 1,000 iPhones are completely different from selling 1,000 courses, because literally for 1,000 courses, the only thing that you need after the course is like created, the only thing that you need is literally a login and a password, and you can sell, like, from one course, right, from one program, you can sell 1,000, 5,000, and so on, right? While for the iPhone, you need to produce each that we are going to sell, right? So your production cost is not only lower, but you actually only need to create one. And that is, I believe that is the only product in the world that you only need to produce one to actually sell multiples of that product. And more than that, the value of an online program is really, really high. And the reason that the value is so high is, again, you are selling a transformation and you are selling time, right? So one interesting thing is that people usually don't take in consideration, that I learn with working with my clients, is that, for example, if you do 101, the amount of hours that you can spend with one client, right, is limited. So when you create a program, when you create a course, the amount of hours that you will spend with multiple clients is higher, because the amount of time that usually take to create a program, to create a course, is hundreds of thousands of hours, right? Especially if you want to create a really good one. So you are going to put the best information that you can in that program to basically give your client the quickest ROI, right? And what ends up happening is actually that the course is way more valuable than creating a one-on-one or a done-for-you service, right? So here's the thing. One of the problems that I see a lot online, especially when creating an online course, is really the same problem as any other business, is getting students and getting clients, right, with predictability. And right now, I'm having like a free training below, like this video. It's a around like what 39-minute video where I actually show you not only how I help my clients, it's literally a case study, right? That if I put here, it will be another 39 minutes, but again, like you can click and watch it. So it's like I show you a case study from 3 of my clients that they sell courses, right? And why selling courses is actually a great business model. But on top of that, I actually share with you the funnel that I use to help my clients sell their programs. So there is no catch in that video. Just literally need to click, put your email, and you can watch the video, right? There is no catch. There is a schedule a call if you want to talk with me and want me to help troubleshoot your problems. But if you want just to learn, right, more about the industry behind selling courses and what actually matters to create a course, I literally go down and show the ads of one of my clients and also the funnel that I use to help them get students with predictability. Now, again, if you are thinking about creating an online course, I truly believe that is an amazing opportunity that a lot of people, right, have a misconception around that. A lot of people see online programs as scamming people or really just like, and I believe that this is because of the internet gurus, right? A lot of people created that idea that online programs are really just scam and so on. But working with online schools allowed me to check, and I had that mindset before, by the way. Working with online schools allowed me to understand better, right, why a lot of people actually buy online courses. Again, is the transformation, is knowing where your current client is and where they want to get, right? So that's the ultimate selling point. And also, on top of that, allows you to scale that business on a level that is like unseen before. Again, because you only need one product that sells to multiple people. And if you think about it, the information, right, and the information industry, the education industry, is one of the most profitable out there. A lot of people go, for example, to university, and again, the reason that you go to university, and most of the time it's like 3 to 6 years, is to have a shortcut on what you want to do. So it makes sense that if you want to learn to go to your desired situation, actually, you can take a program, you can take a course and actually learn from someone who was in the situation that you were and they had the transformation that you want to have. And for example, I don't sell only courses related to making money and so on. I have clients that literally help artists get a job in the artist industry for games and movies, for example, like CG Master Academy, right? And CG Master Academy has over 130 classes, and all of those classes is really to help someone get a job in the industry of artists, like of, how's it called, of concept art and 3D art and 3D concept art and so on, right? And VFX and animation and so on. So really, no matter what niche you find in that first formula, that is your niche, right, and the current situation to the desired situation, right? So if you have a niche, no matter what niche is, if you find what is their current situation and where they want to get, or what are the pain points that really makes them want to go to their desired situation, then it really doesn't matter what the niche is, because you can present them an offer, right, that bridges this gap. And when you sell them that transformation in, for example, again, in a course format, because it's easier to produce, you have zero costs and it's scalable, and the only thing that you need to give is a username and a password, right? And also, you don't need an inventory, right? So when you have those formulas in place, it's really easy for you to scale up your business and naturally start being way more profitable than any other business in the market. Now, again, with that comes the inability to get a student, for example, or not having the exact sales process to actually get there. Again, link in the description. I show you how I use that. I'm not going to cover here because I already recorded a video talking about that, but if you want to learn more, just click on it. But again, it's really simple. To create an online business, it's so simple. You only need to find the niche, their current situation, and their desired situation. And you need to be the solution. You need to be the bridge that will actually close that gap and bring them closer to their desired situation. That's pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm thinking about creating more videos like these here to the channel again. I'm not going to keep doing the one video per day because it's been a little bit crazy on our end here at Blackbird in terms of work, and yeah, it's just like it's been a lot. So I want to give you more videos actually teaching you more stuff like this, and in a longer format where I can really explore things on a larger format and really go in depth on what I'm talking about in these videos. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.